When you're only used to thinking and considering yourself as a physical creature, then it's very fair to come up to the conclusion that if I don't feel good, it's because when I look at my reality, I don't have what I want. So my negative emotion is really about the fact that I don't have what I'm looking for. When in reality, when you understand that you're actually in reality a vibrational creature, you're more vibrational than you are physical. The vibrational takes a lot more importance than the physical because the vibration is turning into the physical reality that you can see. But at first, it's all vibration. So as you understand that, then you understand that the reason for your negative emotion is not because you don't physically have your desire. It's because in that moment you're not resonating with your desire. You're resonating with the absence of your desire. So the only way to soothe that negative emotion is to resonate with your desire, or is to not think about it. You only have two options. It's either to think about your desire and feel good, or don't think about your desire at all. But if it's a desire that it's really pressing, meaning it's taking a lot of space in your life, and it's a subject that continues because maybe it's about something like your body or your home, it's about a topic that continues to come up, then that subject is worth you bridging your belief about. It's worth you being very particular about how you're going to think. And the best way to do that is to talk about why you want it, because when you talk about why you want what you want, then you're more likely to be in the vibration of the desire. You're more likely to actually adding the right momentum. You're actually more likely to practice the frequency that will allow you to fully realize the manifestation that you are wanting to experience. Because the thing is, you don't have answers to when or how or even exactly what it is. You just know exactly why you want it, and that why is all you need. All you need to do is resonate with your desire. And sometimes that's a little scary to our physical friends, because that sounds like, okay, you mean I just have to look at the absence of what I want and feel good in the absence of what I want? But does that mean that you want me to feel good because I'm never going to have my manifestation? Because that's the thing. You think that if you feel satisfied, then you're telling the universe, I don't actually want this, because you're so used to going after things. You're so used to being dissatisfied until you finally get what you've been wanting. But it doesn't work like that, because this is a law of attraction based universe. So what that means is that you have to match the frequency of your desire. And the best way to do that is to talk about why you want it, to feel as good as you can when you think about it, to daydream. Daydreaming is a very effective way to think about your desire, because instead of dealing with resistance, you're just going right into a new orbit, a new world, a new vibrational reality. You're translating the vibrations into tangible images in your mind, and it's all for the emotion. You see, the emotional manifestation is the only thing that you can accomplish right now, because you don't have the physical manifestation. You don't really have much of a breadth of things that you can really do. All you can really do is think about your desire and feel good, and that has to be enough. And what we're really talking about is the emotion. We're talking about you talking about your money and feeling the freedom of it, and just feeling very secure in that freedom. And we're not talking about thoughts, because we're not talking about maintaining or having constant maintenance or being very rigorous in the type of thoughts that you're thinking, because that will make you crazy. This is not about thoughts. This is about how you feel. This is about monitoring how you feel. This is about the state of being, the mood that you're in. And so when you think about money, when you think about everything that you're wanting to manifest, if you can attach emotion to it, then you can accomplish that right now. And as you accomplish the vibrational essence of your desire right now, then you have to receive it, because it's actually the emotion that allows the inspired actions and actually all the details to fill in. The emotion is a perfect place to jump in and actually allow what you want. It's there's not a lot of resistance, and it's actually really easy for you to achieve. That's the thing, is that the emotional manifestation is so damn easy to achieve. But the thing is, it has to be enough. The emotion has to be enough. And sometimes it's not, because you want the full-fledged physical tangible thing. You want the details. You want the things that everyone can see and can congratulate you on. What we're saying is that will happen. We're not saying that the physical manifestations are something you totally have to forget, because we know that you actually came for physical manifestations. We're just saying that you need to understand the process. You need to not think about the absence of your desire. You can't be complaining about the fact that your desire is not here yet. You have to think about your desire and feel good and enjoy the emotional components of it right now. You have to get excited for it before it even comes, or else it's not going to come. And so some of my friends are like, okay, so I understand the emotions. I understand that I just have to talk about why I want it, and I can do that and I can feel good, but how long do I have to do that? And it's really up to you, because the timing is not about actual time. It's not about the time of your time and space, because law of attraction can defy all those things. Because when you're a match or something, law of attraction will work day and night just to make sure that you receive it, because that's how it works. Whatever you're a match to, law of attraction gives it to you. Is giving it to you because you're deserving of it. It's giving it to you because you're matching it as a virtue of the frequency that you are admitting as a result of whatever it is you're giving your attention to, whether it's a daydream, whether it's you talking about why you want your desire, or whether you're actually looking at something. Law of attraction can't tell the difference. So timing isn't about actual time, it's about vibration. And if we're talking about vibration, the only way that you can translate vibration in the vibrational state, in the vibrational world, in this vortex, is through your emotions. So that means that the timing of your desires is really about your emotions. It's really about how good you feel about your desire. And so that puts you in a tricky, sort of corner, because what we're really saying is you have to feel good in the idea. You have to feel good even before your desire is here. You have to feel good in the absence of your desire. You have to get the absence out. And you can do that because you're smart. You understand, because the thing is, all of you are really good at daydreaming. You know how to feel good about a desire, but the only thing that screws you over is reality, is the fact that it hasn't come, is the fact that you can daydream, but in your daydream, you feel ineffective because there still is this reality that looms at large. And that's the thing. We want you to realize that reality doesn't mean anything, because the realist of your planet will tell you, no, reality means everything. Because if what you want isn't here right now, then you can't manifest it. And it's so interesting because when you want something and you don't see it, that's what makes it hard to enjoy your desire, enjoy the becoming of your desire, because the absence of it hurts so much. But remember, the absence of it doesn't hurt, because the only reason why the absence hurts is because you're not resonating with the version that you put in the vortex. You're not actually resonating with your desire. You're resonating with the absence of it, and that's why I feel so bad. So the only way to fix it is not to wait until the manifestation comes, so that you can observe it and have an emotional reaction to it. Because that's the thing. All of you want your desires, everything, just because you think you're going to feel good in having it. And that's the thing. There's nothing wrong in that. In fact, that's actually really amazing, because you're all selfish in nature, and that's actually a good thing, because that's what the expansion of your species and the evolution of thought and your entire planet is all about, is about the fulfillment of the selfish desires, because that's how the vortex works. That's how source energy works. So it's really interesting to talk about source energy, because you really are two points of attractions, but yet in your reality you think that there's this false premise, which is that I'm going to do what I don't want to do so I can get what I want. And we're saying that literally makes no sense. So where does everyone get that from? Because that's not how it works. You don't do something to get something, because whatever you get when you do something that you don't want to do, because you think that the result is going to be what you want to do, then that result is always going to be puny. Because here's the thing, there's not enough action in the entire world that will make up for your misalignment. There's not enough action in the world that's going to make you the best writer in the world, or the best famous singer in the world. You can't practice. It's not about how much you're physically capable of doing. It's not about rigorous practice. It's actually about your vibrational alignment, which is so easy. It means that you're able to stay up to speed with your desire, even though you can't see it yet. Some people would call that faith. A lot of the people, masters, they all just had a feeling. They just had a sense, and that sense overrode, or that sense took more of a precedent over the reality that they were seeing, because they didn't explain why it took them 2 years to get to where they were. They didn't explain why they were lazy. They were just lazy, because there is a stream of energy. There is a momentum, and that's what your negative emotion is also about. It's because there's a really strong, when you want something, it becomes a desire, because your inner being thinks about it. Your inner being focuses on it with no resistance. So that means that energy is moving very fast. But when you're up to speed with it, it just feels like passion. It feels like easy. It just feels natural to you. But when you're in negative emotion, you feel the contradiction of it. And negative emotion is a good thing, because negative emotion, it was never something that you don't beat yourself up for, a GPS system in your car that tells you, hey, you're going the wrong way. You just accept it, and you're just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go the right way. And it's the exact same thing with your negative emotion. It doesn't matter how much momentum there is to your negative emotion, whether you're all the way at despair and depression, or if you're just at dissatisfaction and a little bit of angst. It's all because you're thinking in opposition to your source. And isn't that so nice to know? Because it doesn't matter about the content, meaning the actual truth of your thought. If it feels negative, if it feels not fun to think, if you feel that pit in your stomach, if you can translate the vibration of that thought in your solar plexus as one that doesn't feel good, then that means that that's not a thought that matters. That's not a thought. That thought is bogus. And that puts you in a very interesting position, because that means that what's real doesn't matter anymore. It's actually what feels good, because what feels good is the only thing that matters. So when we're talking about manifestation, when we're talking about you manifesting what you want, well, what we're really talking about is you standing where you are right now and feeling as good as you can, whether that is going general, or whether that is going, thinking about the desires that you've been wanting, and thinking about them in a way that just feels good. Sometimes you're actually able to do that, because when we're talking about emotion, we're not talking about a physical manifestation. We're talking about emotion. We're talking about a mood, a state of being. That's what we're really talking about. We're talking about you feeling. It's about an emotion. It's not about a thought. It's about an emotion. So make it an emotional conversation. Make it about feeling. When you just think about something that you really like to do, and it's like you're not. Isn't that so interesting? It's like you're not there, but yet you're enjoying it as if you are there. And you've done that. You do that all the time, which is so interesting because when you think about what you're going to eat tomorrow, you enjoy the idea of it in your mind, because you don't doubt that you're going to not eat it. You it's actually perfectly logical and perfectly believable. It doesn't really challenge your desire. Your belief doesn't challenge your desire. And that's the thing that we really want to talk to you about, is that there is a stream. There is a stream of energy, of well-being, and you can pinch yourself off from it, but it's too strong. You can't pinch yourself off from the stream. You can't be in negative emotion without feeling that relational experience. So when it feels really bad, it's because it's feeling really good on the other's opposite side, meaning your inner being is feeling really good. Your true soulmate is your inner being, because you are source energy. That's the thing that's most important. It doesn't matter if you call it an inner being or higher self. It just matters that you understand that you were something before, consciousness before you came into this body, and you are still that consciousness while you're in that body. And in fact, that consciousness is what is most important, because you need to be in alignment with who you really are, with your inner being, with this vibrational version. So that means that you got to resonate with that vibrational version. And you know what makes resonating with a vibrational version so interesting, and maybe even at times difficult, because you already have a version right here. And if it's real, then you're going to focus on it. But if it's vibrational, then it's something that you can translate in the form of sight or sound. It's only something you can translate through an emotion. So the emotion really has to mean something important to you. And the best way to do that is to just do it a few times, and you will notice that when you feel good about desires, they just happen. You find a way to feel good about a desire, and it just happens. It just happens, because you're not, you know what's interesting? You're not the engine. You're not the one who's going to make it happen. You're not the one who's going to figure it out and use your action to, trudge all the way to the finish line. It doesn't work like that, because that's that sort of premise where it's like, I'm gonna do something I don't want to do to get to where I want to do. And we're saying that's so backwards, because that's not at all how this attraction-based universe works. When you do what you do, and a happy journey will always lead to a happy ending. So actually what it's really all about is, you can have it all. You are freedom-seeking beings. In fact, when you do things that you don't want to do, you hate it. You resent the person that made you want to do it. You resent society, because you know that you don't have to do what you don't want to do. You can do what you do want to do, and it will lead you to everything. That's the thing. The things that you really want can only come from your bliss, can only come from those high-flying frequencies. And at first, you have to find it. You have to find that on the subjects that you want to see improvement on. You have to begin to tell that new story, because there is a stream and there is a strong momentum, and you need to go with the flow of it. That's the thing, is the stream will take you. There is a stream that has been established even before you came into this body, and that stream is well-being, and that stream is tended to by your inner being. And every time you want something, that stream gets faster. That stream gets put more. There's more stops on that stream. The stream will take you to something more and more and more and more, because that's how you're just expanding so fast. And your vibration expanding faster than reality can catch up with. So that means that you're always going to be out ahead of reality. So you have to get over that. You have to understand that there's always going to be the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. Physically speaking, there will be that gap, but that there is a vibrational gap, aka the emotion that you can change right now. Isn't that so interesting? Meaning you can stand where you are right now, and when you feel the negative emotion of being like, oh damn, I don't have the money, you can change that negative emotion. You can shift it into a thought that feels better, into an emotion that feels better, because it's really all about emotion. It's really all about things that are interesting. And what we're really talking about is satisfaction, because when you let go of the things, of the thoughts, the beliefs, when you let go of that thing that doesn't allow you to be in the stream, then you know what happens? Once you let go of those things, when you understand that negative emotion is not something that you want to beat yourself over for, or it's not something that you want to delve into, it's just something you want to be like, cool, like I'm going to just follow the instructions of it, meaning I'm going to just be left back into the natural satisfaction that is me. And then that satisfaction can be parlayed into higher and higher frequencies. And ultimately, the ultimate manifestation of all is how you feel right now in this moment, because your manifestations are not future. And that's kind of why your manifestations take longer, because you prolong them. You think it's something out there, but it's really here right now, because the feeling, the security that the money will give you is something you feel right now, that feeling of security, of flow and ease. That's how you feel right now. The money has to make its way to you steadily. And not only will it make its way to you, it will make its way to you in a way that's so obvious to everyone around you that people will ask you, and they'll be like, how did you do that? And you'll tell them, you know what? I just let go of trying to be the engine. I understood that it was already there, and the stream was naturally gonna take me there. So then my job was just to make sure, is to understand that I'm always on the stream, and to let go of the things that were stopping me from being on the stream. And then the stream naturally took me there. And I always also understood that I can choose how I want to feel. I can change how I want to feel, like a song on your phone. I can change how I want to feel. And so I know how to do that. I know that the real manifestation that I've been looking for this whole time is how I feel, and I can change that by thinking about what I want, by thinking about things that are easy. But ultimately, it's all about now, and this is a real manifestation. And so if you can feel good right now, then not only have you won because you were feeling the resonance of source energy, but you win it in the sense where you have what you're looking for, which is the emotion. And the manifestations, they come really fast. And that's the thing that we're trying to, get you to understand. Step back way is the easiest way that we know. And it's the easiest way that you will find the most enjoyment in, because you don't have to give anything up to get where you want to go. You can have it all. You can do what you want. You can do exactly what you want. You can follow your bliss, and that bliss will lead you to everything that you want. The fame, the riches, the fortune, the accolades, everything.